we're just gonna have some adult conversations. Yep, there they go.
They just blocked me too.
Hey y'all, welcome to Conversations with Cole. I am so excited about
Am I still live? Can y'all got me?
relationships.
Turn it up.
Oh,
Either off.
yeah,
Mike, turn your radio down.
We dealing with
Can you hear me, Mike?
technical difficulties, but we'll be with you in just a moment.
I can't go back already.
Turn your radio down.
I'm on Facebook now, so if they haven't blocked me.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard.
They just blocked me that I resumed.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't even let me. It was on. Am I on live yet?
Hey,
I don't know because they had blocked me so long.
You're echoing.
Oh, there go our other person.
All right, what's up,
Veronica,
Mike?
you still on?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
can
can
hear
hear you.
you.
Okay. All right.
Okay, yeah, we have an actual guest. Okay, so let me start over because we had these technical difficulties.
Yes.
And let me see. I
got our
am gonna
guest
go
in the
out and y'all
building.
come back in on this one because I don't know if they. I don't know. We'll see. It still say live. I don't know if they blocked me or not. If you still on here, Veronica or Lisa or Janet, somebody say something. Anyway, welcome to Conversations with Cole. Today,
Yes.
I have my co-host with me, Tanisa.
Hey. How y'all doing?
Hey, Janisa.
What's up, Mike?
You got it.
I know you ready, ain't you?
And then we
I
have,
stay ready.
we have at the table with us today, I have to the right of me, Tony.
Hey.
And then across from Tony, my sister, I have Charlie, or who are you? Are you the professional Charlie?
I
Are
can
you
be either one.
Shirley? Okay. All right, well, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you so we can get this conversation going real quick.
Me?
You?
Oh, so I'm a certified life coach. I typically specialize in women's life coaching, but lately I've had more men to reach out because they're trying to save their relationships. So good job to the men and the women who do not appreciate them. Yeah, I'm a woman and I said it, but we're going to get that together.
I know that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then I have with me today, I'm so excited. I have a man on the show.
Yes.
Mike Truss, all the way from, you in Dallas?
Dallas. Yeah,
All
Dallas.
the way in Dallas,
All right.
Mike Truss came to join me today.
Mike,
Let me see if
Mike.
y'all can see Mike up here on the screen. Hey, y'all
Look
see Mike up
blur.
here on the screen? What am I doing, Justin?
Hold on, let me see if I
I'm
can
always
adjust
doing
too.
something.
We gonna get this.
All right,
Let me see.
yeah. I'm so excited. I'm
Okay.
so
You
okay,
got Mike
Mike.
up on the screen.
All
right
right,
there,
Mike,
right there.
Let me see. Let's see. Today's topic is relationships. It's all about relationships. It's all about men and women and all of those good things. And you know, it's not about bashing because I know some of us can have a nice bash session, but that's not what we're going to do. We're going to just have a conversation. We're going to get a male's perspective on what it is you feel. Then we're going to have all these beautiful women have their perspective on relationships, and I think it's going to be a great balance. I really do think it's going to be a great balance because, like I said, it's not a bash, but it's from different perspectives on what we
Absolutely.
feel about how we think about a relationship. Like yesterday when I was with my family, it was so eclectic. I mean, it was the same. Everybody was going to the same place, but everybody was dressed different. You know, some was dressed like they were going to the after party, the ball.
Y'all ain't have on y'all fatigue.
Everybody, no,
women.
we didn't because I just grabbed whatever's in the closet and somebody else's shoes. So you know, it was good. Got my
I
baby
did have my
shoes. Let's
fatigue
go.
on.
Let's go.
You did. I
Okay,
did.
okay. So as y'all know, I never really know what I'm gonna say, what we're gonna do,
Right.
but this is about relationships. So when I actually just thinking about this and thinking about Mike, because he's always posting something about what is going on here. He's always posting something about relationships and I don't know what is going on. Something about relationships and women and basically like what do women really want, and when they get it, do they really know that's what they want, and la da 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 XYZ. So I am actually gonna let Mike. Maybe we should start with questions. Here. Okay, Mike. So I'm gonna start with you, and I know you can be very long-winded. So we don't have all day for you to answer the question because we all need to get a perspective on each question. So, Mike, what is your perspective when it comes to women? Well, let me ask this question. What is the perspective that you think women have when it comes to a relationship with a man? What do you think our perspective is? What do you when I say that, what do you think women, when they come into a relationship, I guess I should say, what do you think we want when we come into the relationship with a man?
Okay. Now, you know, everything I do is rooted in God first.
Of course.
And my teaching comes from a religious background, and a lot of things I voice comes from my study of God and religion and the evolution of man and woman. Now, one thing I have noticed is that as I have traveled the world and been in different places in the world, it ain't a whole lot of other people in the world that have relationship problems. But a lot of relationship problems, it starts with the black community. The African American seems to have more relationship problems than any other people in the world. We have to ask ourselves, why is that? You know, and there's a saying that if you want a plant to die, you have to expose the root to the light. So we got to understand our history and what was placed upon us as a people that started the division in our family from the beginning.
Right.
And if we don't look at, and if we don't, and I don't want to be long-winded because you know I can get deep into this.
Yeah,
I don't want to be
did long, you hear what I said at the beginning?
But what I want to say is that what we first have to do is recognize our history and start from there and see where we came from, our sojourn in America up until where we are right now. And I think if we start there, a lot of our problems will be solved.
You think?
Okay.
Do you think?
But I respect his opinion.
Okay, so listen, we're doing a live podcast, and everybody gets to have an opinion. And I wanted you on here because I know you have one, and we all got one on that point. Now you went all the way from the beginning and how we need to rectify. But I want to know about where we are right now. So I'm going around the table. Then you join back in. So when I say like when we talk about relationships in general, the relationship between a man and a woman, and how I think that whole men are from Mars and women are from Venus, or however the title is. One thing I learned about when I worked in a bar is that men and women generally think the same.
Yep.
We generally think the same about a relationship, but the difference is how men are raised and how women are raised. So sometimes men cannot voice their opinion on a relationship the way we can because they've been raised so differently. So because of that, they go into it on a whole nother level. I'm not a psychologist. I mean, I got a degree in human services, but that ain't got nothing to do with psychology. But I took a psychology class. So what I'm saying is for me and being in a bar, I learned this in a bar. Men and women are generally have the same thought process when it comes to a relationship. It's just how we are raised and how we think. Hold on, I got a spectator in the back that's about to say something real quick.
Which ones of these is on?
I don't know, honey. I'm just.
I'm gonna say this. What's up, y'all? This is the Great. I was asked earlier to talk relationships. I don't like to, but I gotta say this. You are 100% correct. Men and women, we think almost basically the same. But the difference is, like you said, it's not the reason why you're raising why you can't express yourself in a relationship. Men are gatherers and hunters, and y'all are the communicators. That's how that works. That's why y'all are 100% better at communicating than we are. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not like that. I'm very vocal. You know, I was blessed. But most men, we don't know how to convey shit. Even me half the time, I don't know how to convey my real feelings about shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we hide it or we mask it or whatever we do. But y'all are the communicators. We are the hunter-gatherers. That's just how it works.
Got it. Yeah, I got a friend who always say that men are chasers. So that hunter thing goes. Okay. Look at him. Somebody didn't even want to be on the show.
Right. The brother from Dallas brother. No, bro. It ain't just black folks that don't have good relationships. It's every race of people. Don't just put that on black folks. Don't fall into that. They love to put us down first. Like every other race of people don't have the same issues we do.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Okay, Mike, I'm coming to you. Hold it, because I know you. I know you, Mike. I know you. Hold it. We're gonna go to Lydia over here, Tony. We're gonna go to Lydia, Tony. Tony is my sister, like Charlie is Charlene, but she's Charlie right now. So we're gonna go to Lydia, and we're gonna see. Just give me your perspective, sis.
So, okay, my perspective on that. So, and I have mad respect for what the brother just said, because a part of the problem that I feel like that happens in relationships that I've been in or people who I'm affiliated with is that lack of communication because of understanding. I am a woman who likes truth. I don't like, you don't have to BS me. Tell me what it is. Whether don't think for me. Allow me to make my own decisions. Allow me to be able to say if this is this is something that I want to do or something. Right. Don't feel like you don't want to hurt my feelings, because if it's not right, I'm gonna hurt anyway. Right. So if I'm gonna hurt, let me hurt now so I can get over it. And let me hurt because it's my choice to get over something. Don't set me up for failure when you know that's not it. So I personally think that, and now hearing that brother make that statement as far as them being the hunter and us being the communicator, that really is an eye-opener for me, because a lot of times when I'm trying to say, just be honest, just say what it is. Like, I don't need you to worry about how it's going to make me feel. I'm grown. I can handle how it's going to make me feel. Right. I need you to just be honest with me so that I can make an educated and emotional decision that's going to be best for me. Right. And if it's the choice that's going to hurt me, then it'll be my choice. So I can deal with that. But I made that decision. Right. So that's my take. That's my...
Okay. All right. That sounds like a good take. Yes. We're going to move on.
All right.
Let her give her opinion. I'm going to say something, but I ain't going to say nothing. Go ahead.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but the original question was, what are women looking for in relationships?
So, I think the question before Mike gave us a history lesson, the question was, what is the perspective that, from his point of view, what is his perspective of what women actually want in a relationship? Because men and women think different. Like, a man will have, especially somebody like Mike over here, who feels like the relationship, we say one thing, but we do something else when we get in the relationship. So I was asking him, what does he think the perspective, from a male's perspective, what does he think a woman wants in a relationship? What when they get in a relationship with a man, from his perspective? But we don't even have to stay there. You can just give me your perspective on, even on the comment of communication or the relationship factor. Just give me your perspective on a relationship between a man and a woman. We coming back to you, Mike. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get to you.
I'm waiting.
So for me, I would have to say it's not just communication. It is the understanding of the communication. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. If you're talking to someone and you have to keep telling them the same thing repetitively, then obviously either they're not listening or they don't understand it. So it's your job as the communicator to break it down for them so that they do understand it. It's like if you walk outside and say that the sky is blue. Well, yeah, but what kind of blue? You know, I might just look at it like, well, yeah, it's blue. Who cares what kind? And then the next person might say, well, it's light blue. And then the next person might say it's dark blue. At the end of the day, it's still blue. So we all agree, but we have to understand how we reach that point. And if you don't understand, one, the person who you're communicating with and how they think and how they interpret things, you'll just keep on going back and forth in a circle, getting nowhere. But when you ask the person, well, why do you feel like it's dark blue? And then they break it down and they can elaborate. Now you have open communication. Now you have dialogue instead of just saying, no, it's blue, it's blue, it's blue. Everybody's right, but in their own perspective.
Exactly.
So women, in my perspective, as a woman, we just want the understanding of the communication. You know, don't tell me, like you said, what's your name again? I'm sorry, because you said two names.
Yeah, Tony.
Like Miss Tony said, don't make the decisions for me. But it's easy for somebody to make the decisions for you if you're telling them to. If you say, tell me the truth. Well, the truth is, I was at the club last night. Okay, elaborate. What did you do after the club? After the club, I went over so-and-so's house. You waiting, ain't nobody saying nothing. Well, what did you do when you got there? You know, and men, y'all feel like we prying and we digging and we fussing. But if you leave us to assume, you killing
That's
the
exactly
relationship.
right.
If I'm asking you questions, it's because I care.
Yeah, that's what I say. You got all of them right here.
It's
Yeah.
because I'm trusting you to tell me the truth.
That's
If I
it.
don't
That's
trust
it.
you to tell me the truth, I'm
Yes.
not asking you nothing.
That's
I'm
it.
coming up with my
That's
own decisions. I'm
exactly.
coming up with my own
Right there,
perspective,
right
and everything
there.
is based off of what you
Yes.
You gonna
led
get my
me
own
to
reaction.
believe.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
leave your phone out every day,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you start cuffing your phone,
Man.
I need to know why. So when I ask you why,
You listening, Mike and Dallas? You listening? I'm gonna let
I'm
you
the
come
only
around.
one. That's for all of them.
I know, but I know.
And on the flip side, this can go for
the woman. That's right.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah,
for
you know,
sure.
Because if
For
you
sure.
start doing things out of the ordinary, and I want to know, and I want to know why, tell me
Yep.
and tell me the truth.
Yep.
Because when I catch you, now you done blew it, you done messed everything up.
Yeah.
Most women can deal with the truth.
Yes.
We can't deal with lies.
Yes.
right.
Lies
Say
is where
that,
that show
say
snap
that.
came from.
Say
So
that.
if
Say
y'all
that.
if y'all think that lies hurt, hey, that's real.
Yeah.
The truth sets us free.
Yep.
Just tell us. That's how you save your relationships.
Yep.
That's what women want.
That's
We
it.
want the understanding behind the communication.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There
There's
you
a
go.
little song that says, I don't want to be the last to know.
That's it. All right, Mike, we're making our way because I know you are getting a lot of information, and I want you to take all this information in, and I want you to hear exactly what has been said, and then when you hear what has been said, I want you to digest it because we're gonna see what Tanisa has to say, and I want you to digest it, and
I'm
then when I
listening.
get back to you, I want you to give us a perspective from that perspective. Don't give us a history lesson because I know that you can do all of that. I know you can do all that. I want you to come to the table for real, like when you get upset about when you get upset about all the things you get upset about of women and relationships and why women don't know what they want and all this. I want you to be for real and give us a for real answer. Not wait a minute, what happened to Mike? Where you go,
He
Mike?
got tired of us.
Where Mike?
There you go.
Oh, there you go. I want you to come back for real. I mean, I know you ain't coming back bashing because that's not what you're going to do. But I really want to hear your for real perspective on what you just heard. Go ahead, Tanisa. And Mike, then you coming back next. Ooh, babe, we need 2 hours today.
So for me, it's pretty much what all the ladies on the panel have said today. It's the truth factor. We as women, we already kind of know what we want. We do know what we want. And we can see a person. I know for me, when I was younger and going, if I see a certain gentleman, I already kind of know that if I'm finna just give this my all or it's a play thing. We all know that. But then if we in there and we talking about relationships, then yeah, give me the truth. Don't just leave me on because you feel like you super interested and you want to always see what this person is like, and then now you leave me on when I'm up telling you up front that I'm ready to be in a relationship. And then now we got the games being played. Invite me to the party, and if I want to dance,
That's it.
then let me dance. So like you said, and then when stuff get to falling out the closet and falling out everywhere, then I can't
Now
do nothing
you
but like,
tripping.
yeah. And then like you said, then I'm tripping. And then like Charlie said, then you get us used to your habits, because in the beginning you trying to be this perfect gentleman that you done said in my face and said that you were. So then you being so open, as you say, you like she say, leaving the phone out, doing this and doing that, and then once everything get to rocking and rolling, like you said, now all of a sudden the phone being cuffed, or it's in the car on the charger, or
And it's 13 charges.
okay, and yeah, or just other little things. Well, what happened to this when I done got used to you portraying to give me a complete conciseness that this is the person that you are,
Right.
and then when you start switching up, then
Right.
now we got to figure out what's going on, what the hell going on. Then now we tripping. Well, no, because this is who you got me used to. I want that person right there.
Every day.
Right,
Because I'm not gonna change. I'm not changing because I done made my mind up of what I want. That's who I want to go. So can you bring that? Wheel that one back. Bring that on back.
Right.
Because this one right here, I don't know who this is. But then if that's the case, then wake up and knock on the door and say, you know what, babe, I thought this might have been what I wanted or whatever, but it's not. Don't just
But
Keep
I
it
think,
100.
keep it
But I
100.
think, and so Mike, with all of that, what you just heard, I'm just gonna ask you one question right quick, and I'm getting ready to summarize one thing. But I want you to say one word that you heard us say, just one word. But I'm getting ready to let you talk. But I just want to hear you say one word that you heard us say women want? What is that one word? What is that one word? And then you can okay. So I want you to elaborate on that. Right. I want you to elaborate on that, even from a man's perspective, because this is about relationships. We know what we want. Y'all assume that y'all know what we want, just like we assume that we know what you all want until, like Charlie said, until we come to an understanding and have conversations, real life conversation, grown up conversations about this is where I am, baby, this is where you are, and then we can accept each other on those terms. So
can I add one thing to that before he comes in? And then the other thing is, those expectations and requirements and all of those things change when people change. So revisit the conversation. Keep it coming.
Yeah. You know, that is my life. That is my life.
You don't know. You know what I wanted yesterday. And me personally, what I wanted yesterday might not be what I want today. Yeah. And that's
you have to grow up in the relationship. That's what you do. There are layers to a relationship, right. Because everybody is different. We're not all raised in the same household. We're not all raised in the same space. There are levels to relationship, but the basic level to the relationship, Mike, is the truth. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, like you said, there's different levels to relationships, but you have to have realistic goals when you're talking about a relationship. A relationship, based on the definition of the word, is when two people come together with the same agenda. So then, if I'm going to have a relationship with you, first of all, I must be able to relate to you. And you must be able to relate to me. I think we, as a people, and the problem with our relationship, we get too emotional in our relationship. And like you said, we all come from different backgrounds and different parts of life. But if we could put the focus on what we are obtaining or what we're trying to get out the relationship and start working towards that, anything else that's in the relationship, we can get around that. Like old girl said, if I see the sky blue and you see it green, do you think we're gonna ever agree on what we see? Because we see two different things. So in order for the relationship to work, we have to bring a focal point to what we want out of the relationship. So when two men, when a man and a woman come together, a child is born, right? Physically. Correct?
Right. Yeah.
So based on that relationship, the coming together of the two should produce something.
Yeah.
So if you're not coming together to produce nothing, if you're going on based on what you see in Hollywood, somebody opening the car door for you, somebody sending you flowers, you know what I'm saying? Somebody giving you money, and that's all fine, that's good. That's what they call chivalry or chivalry, however you want to pronounce it. But on the real, something should come out of the relationship when you decide to get with a person. And if we don't have a clear understanding what we want out of this relationship, let's say it's a business. Let's say that we got children and we want to build this business so that we can leave something to our children when we leave. Then we should start working together towards that. And if we work together towards that, then all of the other things that come in the relationship, we might find out that this is more important than those other things, like leaving my phone out. Because if you're doing that and you're doing what is really meant, for something to come out of a relationship, all that cheating and all that stuff will go away because you will find somebody that's equally yoked with you. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
We understand.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The book says that you got to do things decent and in order.
Okay.
First thing, you can't expect no instant gratification.
Right.
It takes time for love to grow.
That's true.
Right.
It takes time for us to get to know each other.
That's true.
But if you're gonna throw the mashed potatoes out because they burn, because they instant potatoes, they ain't supposed to cook quickly. It takes time for it to get to where it's supposed to be, and you're not willing to spend that time and put that effort towards making that relationship a meaningful relationship, then all the other stuff gonna come in and mess it up. And if it ain't built on the solid ground, a house that's built on something that's not solid ain't gonna stand.
Right. You right.
Okay, well let me I just want to enter into that conversation because I understand that you're a man of God and you reference that word.
I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm a man like everybody else.
I get that.
I still put God first.
I get that. So don't go deep on that. That was an honor, a respectful thing I just said.
Okay.
I wasn't being funny. So what I do want to say is I totally agree with you when it comes to the understanding of you have to put the work in and not being caught up on the superficial things of it. But what I also believe is that a relationship should be about purpose. And if you began to see that this person, I'm going to use me. If I don't see where I fit in, if I don't see how I'm going to make your life different or how you are going to make my life different, and there's no purpose in this relationship, then I believe that then if I don't see it going anywhere, then let's go ahead and deal with that right now. Let's not drag it out just because I might think you are handsome or you may have all these things that I love. If I don't see where you fit into the program or the purpose of my life, then there's no reason for you to be in my life. Yep. Right.
That's where communication comes in. And like you said, we be truthful with each other. What you want out of a relationship? And it goes right what do I want out of a relationship? And then from there, you know what I'm saying? We can start building towards that. Or we can say, oh, well, that's not what I'm looking for. Or you can say, that's not what I'm looking for.
So,
and then we won't waste each other's time. Now, we want just a friendship where we see each other every now and then. Okay, that's a different kind of relationship. But if we want a meaningful relationship, we have to set goals. We have to set realistic values in order to bring that relationship into fruition. And like I'm saying, it's not going to happen overnight. What our problem is we don't want to put in that time. You know what I'm saying? When you meet a man, you expect for him to have everything that he's supposed to have right now.
That ain't how
if I got everything that I'm supposed to have right now, then what part do you play in the relationship that makes me love you? Because it's your part in helping me get that is what make me love you.
And you know what? You are 100% right. Yes, and that is one of the reasons why I wanted you on here, because I think I've seen you say that you wrote that on a post before, like
two things that don't have a need each other don't bond.
And that is it. Because if you come to the table with everything already, there's no room for growth. And then the moment that, or if I don't have everything and you already have everything, or vice versa, it's gonna be an issue. Because
and that don't necessarily that don't necessarily mean material things.
Oh no.
It might be your intellect into the business that I'm into already.
And listen, I'm gonna say this from a perspective of my age range, the 50 and up. I'm gonna say this from that perspective because even like friends of mine or my friends or people that I talk to in this age, when you say people expect people to already be in a certain space, at our age, that's probably a fact. And that's because we feel like at this point we shouldn't have to work so hard with a person who should already be in a certain space in life. Now, I'm saying that, but I'm not saying that I agree with that, because we all go through life issues, you know.
Right.
So exactly. We go through life issues at different stages in life, and it doesn't mean that when you come to the table, you may have never come across somebody like me or somebody that's gonna be there to support you in whatever it is you have going on. So you don't know how to accept that, or you never had somebody to help you along the way. So when you say about if you don't have somebody there to help you in what it is you're going through, and if you with somebody and they don't need you, the relationship is not gonna work at all. Because they don't need you for anything.
That part is what creates the love. That's the point I'm trying to drive.
And you have to
the need of a person, then that's not going to create the love that you want coming from that person.
Yes. And I get that.
And you need me.
Yeah.
And if you come into the relationship like you don't need no man, I'm looking at you like, then what you got me for?
Right. Right. That's the thing. Yeah. I will.
I mean, a man needs to be held in some sense of value.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Relationship.
I totally agree.
Yes, yeah.
Even if it ain't for my money, if I know how to cut the grass, if I know how to change the oil, if I know how to change the tire, if I know how to paint the house,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I go out there and plant a garden to
baby,
make
you sure did a good job on that. My house is looking good. Yeah, you supposed to get it.
I got to
I know
feel
y'all
needed.
want y'all flowers too.
You understand what I'm saying? A man has to feel needed
Oh,
too.
for sure.
Awesome.
For sure.
For
So
sure.
I agree with everything that you said, except for it's not a disagreement. It's just a different perspective. You made a comment that, and I'm paraphrasing. You said that, let me get it right because you said so much. You said that basically, if two people don't agree on the sky being the same color, then they can't agree. You know that the relationship ain't gonna go nowhere.
If it's green to me, but blue to you, you will never get us to agree on what color it is because we're seeing it from two different perspectives.
I disagree with that. I think that if you can communicate effectively and say, I'm over on the east side of the sun, and that's what it looks like to me, and then the other person say, I'm on the west side of the sun, and it looks that way to me. I think that at that point, you all can not only agree to disagree, which is an agreement, but you can also respect each other's perspectives, and that there's not a right and there's not a wrong.
Oh, well, I can get that. I can understand that.
So that's a point where you can grow and understand, okay, this person not going against me. They not fighting against what I'm saying. We both have the same agenda, which is an understanding.
Right.
And
Instead
then
of
you
that
can,
becoming a big old argument, and then
right,
you're like, I
and you
see,
can
I'm
move
done with
forward.
her because she don't want to listen to what I got
right,
to say.
and then
just
you
say,
can
no,
move
we have
forward.
Well,
from
we
two
like we
different
attacking it from different angles.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I'm
And
Right.
I think that's really,
saying? 4 and 3 or 5 and 2.
Right.
and
right.
I think that's the whole thing about a relationship between a man and a woman, and even like a business situation, whatever the relationship is for one, it's about communication, and it's definitely about trust, regardless of what kind of relationship it is. But the relationship between a man and a woman has got to be built on trust. It has
But
got to be.
But this the $64,000 question. Are you willing to do or make that sacrifice so that our relationships can be better,
And
so that we can set a better example for the kids that's coming up behind us? Because
so,
our relationship is more than about us.
for sure.
We are an example to those that come behind us.
So my
And if
thing
we don't
is,
set the example
but here's
and
the
give
thing,
them
though.
a
Mike.
path to follow, how can we expect the generations behind us to go in the right direction?
So here's the thing with the whole. So we are an example, but here's the thing about just being in a relationship with somebody. So the question, the $64,000,000,000 question is, when you get to a place like the song that I played today, it was like it's called "Don't Love Me," and what they were saying initially, what he's saying is, if you don't love me, let me go. That's the issue I see in a lot of relationships. And it's not even that you don't love me, because you do love me. However, you don't love me enough, or you don't.
It's people that don't love you but don't want nobody else to have.
And that is that's it right there. That's the thing.
In addition,
you know what I'm saying?
In addition to that, you have to.
They know you good at heart.
Even when you go to that place, you still have to go back to a proper understanding, because everybody was not taught how to love in the same way.
Oh no.
There's some people out here who in their 40s and 50s and never have experienced true love. I know a woman right now who is 54 years old, and she's never had a man to show her anything outside of Grand and Natural Bridge. And that's not saying that that's a bad thing. It's just saying, so if somebody try to bring her to Clayton, she don't understand that.
Right.
That's foreign language to her.
Right.
And there's no way to properly equate love, because the way that you love somebody else, you might have gave your heart and soul and made that person feel like, oh my God, he or she really loves me, and you give me half of that, and you got me. You know, you just have to understand the person who you are dealing with. And something else that you said, you know, like when men come in, you washing cars, cutting grass, all of that. A lot of men not doing that. A lot of men don't know to do those things because all they've done is made money throughout their entire lives. So they've paid other people to do that. They paid women to love them, and the love wasn't real. They paid people to cut their grasses. They paid people to cut their hair. They paid people to do all of those things. So they're equating love with the superficial things and not the realistic things, not the emotional things. So when they get to a point in their lives where they feel like the LL song, I need love, they don't know how to express that to somebody. Well, guess what? They still don't get it. So now they walking around mad at the world. Women ain't nothing. This, that, and the other. It's always the woman's fault. Yeah, I ain't do nothing to you. I tried to love you and you wouldn't allow me to love you. Vice versa. You didn't know how to accept the love, and so you pushed me away because either you got scared when it got too real, or you just did not understand it. Like it happens every single day.
In that case, should we now start going into a relationship not just based on emotion but intellect as well? Should there be a balance now?
You gotta have a different.
You got to be intellectually, ready for a relationship just as well as emotionally.
I think for
because
one,
the emotions can cause you to do a whole lot of things that would look stupid in the eye.
But I think that's what happens though. I think we do things based on our emotions. And so because we're so emotionally involved with a person, sometimes it's just so hard to let go because of emotion. Not because we've communicated clearly what it is we want from a relationship, or not because we have paid attention to the signs that the other person gives us. It's because we love. We love somebody, and that is not, it's not a good place to be in a relationship because you choose, like Tony first said, the bottom line is the trust factor. Tell me, and this is what I've heard from men, y'all don't want to know the truth. Y'all really don't want to know the truth. You don't want to know if I come to the table and I tell you if I'm in love with you. Now, this is what I'm saying I hear from men. Based on a woman and her emotion. And it may be a man too, but men display their emotions differently. Some men do. I worked in a bar. So some men do and some men don't. And that's the reason why I got a different level of respect when it comes to men in conversation, because they are on the same level as women in certain areas when it comes to emotion and when it comes to relationship. So that's why I can have a different conversation about a man. But hold on right quick. So what was I saying, child? Y'all know I lose my train of thought in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. But anyway, the bottom line is too is that we come from different places, and I say this, unless you dating somebody who grew up in the same house with you, who you all do things exactly the same, you don't know a person. When you come into a relationship, it's about learning somebody. Right. And the thing about it is, if you learn them and then you find out what you learned about them, that's not what you want. Why is it so hard sometimes when you bring that emotion factor into it to walk away? Why is it so hard? And it's even on a man, not just women. A man will hold on to a woman because he sees all of these qualities in her that he feels like, oh, these are good qualities. I feel like she's a good woman.
But he don't know how to bring them.
But what is it? But so what is the but? Why would a man hold on?
He don't know how to bring them out of them. It's women can have a lot of qualities that I can't bring out of her that another man can. And another thing women have to pay attention to, and she really have to pay attention to this deeply. A man that was raised by a woman and a man that was raised by a man. They different people.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
They are.
And a lot of men today are coming up under their mothers because ain't no man in the house.
Right.
And so then he don't know how to be a man because he never had no example of a man to know what a man should do. Right. But if a man is raised by a man and he lay down the example and do what a man's supposed to do, naturally the woman is going to be attracted to him unless in something other force causes her to get away from him. That might be her friends, jealous friends, or jealous family members. Because a woman can see a good man.
Just like a man can see a good woman.
Exactly.
Or 5 or 6 of them.
So,
and we do the same thing. We let niggas come in out, man.
Did you say the N-word?
And you let around and let a good woman go listening to other folks.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute. I want to piggyback to something that Nicole said, though, because I also have heard, I used to I managed a men's store for 8 years, so I've dealt with men on all levels. And I've also heard that comment about women don't want to know the truth. But what I've began to learn or understand is, in that statement is, it's not that women can't handle the truth. Men most times can't handle the reaction that comes from the truth that you've given the woman. Right. Because there's going to be a reaction. And you have to understand and respect that reaction. But like I was saying in the beginning, don't worry about my reaction. Because as long as it's your truth, I'm a grown woman. I'm going to accept your truth. It may hurt, but it's your truth. And I'm going to respect you as a man for giving me your truth. But when you don't give me the truth and you constantly lie, that tells me as a woman, that's a lack of respect you have for me. Because you're not trusting me to be the woman that you should believe that I am. Let me make my own decision. I may give you a reaction, and it may be a reaction that you're not ready for, that you can't handle. But as long as it was your truth, I'm gonna step up and be a grown woman and own that. I may be mad at first, but I'm gonna come around because it's the truth. And I believe the truth is just what it is. It is. The truth is, you don't have to explain the truth. You don't have to go and try to back up the truth. The truth gonna stand on its own.
Right. And we definitely, just like a man would want to know the truth. And here's the thing that I said before when it comes to men and women. And I feel like this, and correct me if I'm wrong. The reason why men don't stay in relationships when a woman cheats on him is because he knows for a fact that he can't deal with it. He's not gonna get over it. And I'm not saying every man, but I'm saying they move away because they know I can't get over this. Now, and it's not based on emotion. Women, a lot of times, and I'm not saying every woman, we can stay in a relationship with a man after he cheats on us because we think emotionally. I love this man, or that we can move past it. But I said that to say another reason why y'all don't stay, this is my opinion, is that, and I say this, we should leave the relationship, because one thing is going to happen when you're in a relationship with somebody that's cheated on you and you haven't really resolved the issue within yourself. You're going to bring it up over and over and over and over and over again, so the relationship is not going to work anyway. Now, with a man, he's not going to bring it up, and he doesn't expect you to bring it up, but he can't handle that, so he'd rather go and be with somebody else than to stay in a relationship with somebody he knows that's been in a relationship with somebody else, because I can't handle it. And I'm not going to keep talking about it, and I'm just going to move on.
I'm done with it.
So,
and that's exactly what it is. Y'all done with it. I respect that too.
One of the techniques that I use in my coaching sessions is I ask people, how do they best communicate? How do things make more sense to them? Are you a verbal person, a physical person, so forth and so on? And when people say that they are more verbal, I use the references in songs. One of the songs that I always go back to, or one of the albums that I always go back to, is Usher. His Confessions album did numbers that he had never seen before, because women want to hear the truth. The title alone of that album caught every woman in America's attention, and then the ones overseas, because we want to know what you confessing. And then when he started singing, he talking about having babies on people, he was lying, he was supposed to be here, he's supposed to be there, all these horrible things that he's done. And women can relate to that album because we've all been there in some sense. And this one man had enough sense to get in the studio with somebody else who wrote the song, with him singing it. He could have been anybody. All he had to do was say, I'm confessing and I'm sorry, and we ate it up. Okay?
Still to this day. I just heard it yesterday. And
I was
like,
see? And then on the other hand, when a woman's fed up, when we get to that point,
but a man will confess, but a woman ain't gonna never confess.
Let me tell you this: a woman will confess.
You walking up the wrong tree now,
Mike. A woman will confess, but in our mind, it's your fault because if I'm gonna tell you why, in a woman's mind, we don't have a problem with confessing, and we'll tell you before we doing it. Most of the time, you just gotta pay attention. If you paying attention to me, it ain't gonna happen in the first place. But then if you don't pay attention, when I gave you all the signs, I told you, but you didn't hear me.
Yeah.
Women tell y'all when we cheat,
I agree with that.
Y'all know before we go and do it. You just don't listen. We tell y'all.
Or not even listen, like you say, you don't pay attention to the signs.
For somebody paying attention. Yeah. I already know you're gonna cheat when you cheat because I already know what I did.
But it's something
because he said because he know what he did.
Right. And but here's the thing.
So is that why they choose not to walk away?
Before she walk away,
you act like you took it in stride.
Everything before she bounced.
You took it in stride, but you didn't.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Mike? Say that again. What you say? Say that again. About what?
I said I confessed to you, and you pretended like you took it in stride, but you didn't.
There you go. And you don't want the reaction.
They don't want exactly. Back to what you said.
They
trying to preserve.
You better believe it.
And then that goes to another popular song that this man came back years after and made another song, and this generation eating it up too. And that's Tank with Maybe I Deserve. He knew what he was doing. He knew all the stuff that he was doing. So soon as the woman got out the house, he thinking she doing all the same stuff that he was doing. And she probably ain't even did none of it. But because of his guilt and his now insecurity, he thinking this woman did everything. That song was a hit when he made it the first time. He came back, I think they said 20, 25 years later, did the new one, and that one is a hit amongst a whole different generation.
And that's why and that's what I literally just said. You don't tell the truth. You don't want to tell the truth. It's not about women don't want the truth. You can't handle the response that's going to come from the truth.
Yeah, because that's to come back on me.
But the thing is,
right.
So, and I'm not saying you particularly, but what happens, you'll rather lie because you figure like I'm just going to live in this land, this mindset.
If I lie to you, it's because I love you.
No. If you lie to your woman, it's because somebody told you to tell her, I lied to you because I love you. Lies hurt. We don't want to hear that.
Tell me your definition of love.
It hurt us too.
Definition of love, please.
It hurt us too when y'all lie to us.
And then tell me your definition of love. What is your definition of love?
When you love somebody, you love them deeply. You don't want to.
That's the definition.
That's not the question.
You already know that your false is gonna hurt her.
But that's not the question.
Even if you want to tell her the truth, you don't want to tell her the truth because you don't want her to think that way about you.
But answer the question though.
Because at the end of the day, it's about how you feel. It's not about how she feels.
What is your definition of love?
The definition of love
your definition.
It's so many definitions, it's ridiculous.
What's
but
yours?
That depends on the person.
But what's your definition of love?
Love is going above and beyond call of duty to do what it is to please, help, nurture. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? It's just no.
You gonna say?
I know.
Love is an action word.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Well, so
I can say what I want to say, but if I don't show what I'm saying, all I'm doing is talking.
So I'm just to be fair, I'll answer that question just like I asked you because I just got reprimanded because that was your opinion and I'm fair. I'm gonna give you that. But if somebody asks me my definition of love, my definition of love would be that love is dying to self. for the purpose of being used by God to the fullest. That's my definition of love. So if I say I love you, I'm not going to do anything that's going to hurt you in any way. Even if I have to tell you the truth. My truth is my truth. And you may not want my truth, but I know that I'm being honest with you. So therefore, that rides. It may hurt. It may hurt. And I ain't trying to go spiritual or religious and none of that, but that's truly my definition.
I mean, that's the root cause for everything. I mean, so
and then
sometimes we gotta reach back there to get reorientated. You know what I'm saying? And we use that as our basis to become better.
And also,
so I don't have no problem with that.
A lot of people don't look at cheating the same because there's so many different ways of cheating to a woman. If you tell me that you don't smoke cigarettes no more, and then you come home smelling like smoke all the time, a lie is a lie. You cheated. You know,
right?
You're trying to win the game. You're lying to get to where you're trying to go. If you tell me that you don't, if you tell me you don't hang with these particular people no more, and somebody send me a video and you in this house kicking it with them same people, that's the same as cheating. It's all the same to us. To a woman, one sin is the same as another one.
Right.
It don't matter how you do it. You might as well been in the bed with somebody if you tell me that you doing something that you didn't do. Yeah. None of it makes sense. To a woman, we want to be protected. To us, being protected is from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet. In between, there are emotions. Right. So that's why men get away. That's why men get away with so many things that y'all get away with. Because if you come home and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I did this, I did that," but she will never ever reach this front door, I'm trusting you to protect me in that sense, and I will believe what you say. But you get sloppy and let her call me, let her knock on my door. That's something totally different because you did not protect me. You didn't protect me.
So Mike,
there we go.
So just what she said, I'm about to wrap this up, but just what Charlie just said. The thing about it is, we want to be protected. It's not about you going out talking to the wrong women. So when you start talking to the right women, you're gonna have a better post. Woo. When you go out and you do what you do, and you come back home to a woman who truly loves you, and you can not even so much you cheating or whatever it is you have done, and you can sit and have a conversation with her, and because she loves you, she's gonna be able to hear what it is that you're saying. Now, what she also said is the moment that you don't protect my feelings, me physically or whatever, then that's when you got a problem. Because you have to be able to protect the person that you say that you love. Okay, guys, we got probably about 3 minutes. So what I am going to do right quick, and I know we're going to have to do this quick, Mike. You're going to have to come back. We're going to have to come back. So my question is, what do you want in a relationship? Well, let me say this. What is your expectation of a woman in a relationship? You only got 30 seconds to say it. Come on.
Okay, I want for a woman to be is loyal, faithful, and supportive. You know, don't be sloppy. Just say it. I want to be protected the same way you want to be protected. That's it. You out there doing something, it shouldn't get back to me. If it get back to me, I really don't care what you do. But if it get back to me, yeah, you was sloppy with it. You don't care nothing about me. But my goal is bigger than trying to look good for other people. I want us to be prosperous and to be able to be fruitful and multiply in more than one type of way.
Okay.
All right. So Tony, you got 30 seconds because I'm gonna wrap this up. Come on.
Okay. Question. You said, what do I want in a relationship?
Just what is it that you want from your relationship? Quickly. You said it in the beginning, but just elaborate.
I'll say it again. All I want is the truth. I'm like, I want you to show me that respect. Give me the truth. Give me your game plan. Let's decide if this is what we want to do, and let's do it.
That's it. Okay. All right, Charlie. Let me turn it around. Go ahead.
I want a man to be a man. Take leadership. Be the man and own what you do, whether it's good or bad. If I'm sinking, throw me a life jacket. Help me when I can't help myself. Guide me to where I need to be so I can help you, so we can help us. Okay. Be my partner, let me be your partner.
Okay. Exactly.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
I want a man to be a provider, one that stands by my side, and then when things get rough or he see a flaw that comes up that he's not aware of or he hasn't seen, do not run and just say, well, baby, you know, you did a little something I didn't really like that other day. I might not know it if you don't say it because I'm not perfect. Yeah. I ain't looking for the perfect. I'm looking for the good and the long standing.
Okay. All right. So, for me, everything that they said, y'all, I ain't got time. Everything that they said, we all want to know the truth.
On going.
We want to hear the truth.
Yeah.
We want to hear the truth. Mike said it, and he said exactly what we said. That just goes back to what I learned in the bar, working in the bar, owning the bar. That men and women are not so much different when it comes to relationships. We just express it differently. And we really have to learn how to communicate with each other and understand each other from different perspectives. That's just what we learned at this table today. Mike, I am so glad that you joined us. We are going to have this conversation again. This was one of the best conversations with Cole yet. I thank you, Tony, for joining us at the table today. I thank you, Charlie, for joining us at the table today. We're going to have you back again, too.
Ooh, thank you.
All right. And you know what, y'all? We got to get out of here. And thank you for joining us for Conversations with Cole. We will see y'all again next week. I don't know what the topic's going to be, but it's going to be good. Conversations with Cole. Y'all have a safe rest of the weekend.
And enjoy your holiday. Be
all right.
safe.
We got some barbecue waiting on us in the park. All right, y'all. Thank you. All right, Mike.
See you.
Oh,